3:07 a.m. The ocean is black. Two ships touch in the dark. No flag, no name, no AIS signal. A hose the size of a man's torso breathes crude from a ghost hull into a clean one. On the bridge, an old photograph, Marc Rich, white hair, a calm smile. In Zug, his pink granite bench is empty, but the machine he built is still full. By sunrise, the oil has a new passport. You will never see the transaction, but you will pay for it. Everything you see around you is a lie. The plastic in your hand, the fuel in your car. You think you bought it from a store. You think you know the price, but you don't. Because behind the brands you trust exists a shadow world you were never meant to see. They say money never sleeps. They are wrong. Money waits. It waits in the dark hull of a supertanker drifting off the coast of Venezuela, its transponder turned off. It waits in a pipeline in Siberia and in a bank account in Zug, Switzerland, protected by laws that don't apply to you. The ship you are looking at is a ghost. It flies no flag. It has no name painted on its hull. Two steel leviathans drifting side by side in the total darkness of the Caribbean. Rubber fenders the size of cars pressing steel to steel. A hose as thick as a man's torso trembling with the flow of illicit crude. This is not just commerce. This is the invisible empire, and it touches everything. To understand how this empire was built, we have to go back, before the yachts, before the private jets, before the billions buried in the Swiss Alps. We have to go back to a mailroom in New York City and a young refugee named Marcel David Reich. He learned one lesson early. Nations fall, borders change, governments crumble. The only thing that survives is the commodity, the physical thing itself, gold, oil, grain. If you can hold it, you can survive. He would change his name to Marc Rich, and he would change the world. In the 1970s, oil was boring. It was controlled by the Seven Sisters, giant corporations that moved crude on fixed contracts. Prices were set for years. The world was stable. But Marc Rich didn't want stability. He wanted chaos, because in chaos there is profit. He saw a gap no one else saw, the space between the barrel and the buyer, and he stepped into it. He weaponized the spot market. It sounds technical, but it was revolutionary. Before him, you couldn't just buy a tanker of oil. After him, everything was for sale to the highest bidder. It didn't matter if you were a dictator, a revolutionary, or a pariah state. If you had the cash, Marc Rich had the oil. He became the king of commodities. But kings have enemies. And Marc Rich made the biggest enemy of all, the United States of America. While American hostages sat blindfolded in Tehran, Marc Rich's ships were docking at Karg Island, pumping Iranian crude into the global market. He was trading with the enemy and making a fortune doing it. In Washington, it looked like treason. He called it business. And when they came for him with an indictment that could bury him for life, he didn't surrender. He didn't beg. He did what a trader always does. He moved his asset, himself, to a tiny town in Switzerland called Zug.
Marc Rich is gone, but his children are everywhere. They don't look like fugitives anymore. They look like banks. They look like dental clinics. They look boring. And that is by design. Go to Houston, Texas. Walk into the trading floor of Vitol, the largest oil trader on Earth. You expect noise. You expect shouting. You expect the chaos of 7 million barrels of oil moving across the oceans. But you hear nothing. Just a low, polite hum. Look at the ceiling. It is a masterpiece of white, jagged origami, beautiful and silent. Do you know what it is made of? Recycled milk bottles, plastic garbage melted down and spun into acoustic panels to absorb the sound. It is the perfect metaphor. Beneath a ceiling made of recycled innocence sits a room of 300 traders moving enough fossil fuel to melt the ice caps. They built a cathedral to silence. They sanitized the burning of the world so they don't have to hear the scream.
How do they do it? How do they move billions of dollars without anyone seeing the money change hands? They use a weapon sharper than any sword and heavier than any gold. They use paper. The bill of lading, the letter of credit, these are not just documents, they are titles to the cargo itself. Whoever holds the paper owns the oil. But ships are slow and money is fast. Sometimes the ship arrives before the paper, and time is the only thing a trader cannot afford. So they sign a spell. It is called a letter of indemnity. It says, "Release the oil to me without the title. Trust me. If it all goes wrong, if the real owner comes looking for it, I will pay. Trust me." A system built entirely on a handshake in the dark, a promise between ghosts. Millions of dollars of oil are released on a single signature, creating a gap in legal ownership. And in that gap, in those few days where the oil belongs to no one, is where the real money is made, or where the real crimes are hidden. But sometimes the alchemy fails. Sometimes the ghost becomes a monster. The year was 2006. A ship called the Probo Koala, chartered by a company called Trafigura. They had a brilliant idea: buy cheap, dirty gasoline that no one else wanted and clean it at sea. They turned the ship into a floating chemical lab. It worked. They made a profit, but they also created a byproduct. A black, toxic sludge that smelled like rotting flesh and burning sulfur. They tried to dump it in Amsterdam. The port demanded $600,000 to dispose of it safely. Trafigura said no, that would ruin the margin.
One internal email reportedly read, "Claude owns a waste disposal company and wants us to be creative." Being creative cost $17,000. That is what they paid a local contractor in Abidjan to make the problem disappear. Overnight, trucks dumped the black sludge into the open air of the city. By morning, 100,000 people were suffocating. The hospitals collapsed. 17 people died. Trafigura called it a logistical error. The victims called it murder.
You might think the world has changed since then. You might think laws have tightened, that satellites see everything. But the empire did not shrink. It split. Today there are two fleets. The White Fleet, where clean ships carry legal oil to legal ports, and the Dark Fleet. Right now, hundreds of rusting tankers drift in international waters. They have no insurance. Their names are painted over. Their GPS transponders are switched off. They meet in the middle of the sea, two giants, hull to hull, transferring millions of barrels of sanctioned oil while the rest of the world sleeps. Venezuelan sludge becomes Malaysian blend. Russian crude becomes Indian diesel. The oil is laundered just like money. By the time it reaches your gas station, it has no history. It has no nationality. It is just fuel. And the traders in Geneva collect the spread.
It is easy to hate them. It is easy to look at toxic waste in Abidjan or bribes in Brazil and call them monsters. But here is the uncomfortable truth. We need them. You watching this, you need the lights to stay on. You need your car to start. You need your phone to charge. The world consumes 100 million barrels of oil every single day. That energy has to come from somewhere, and usually it comes from places you don't want to visit. Places torn apart by war, dictatorship, and chaos. Someone has to go there. Someone has to shake the dictator's hand. Someone has to move the molecule from the darkness into the light. They are not just profiteers. They are the mechanics of our addiction. We pay them to do the dirty work so we can keep our hands clean. We outsource our morality to the invisible empire. Marc Rich died in 2013. He was buried in a kibbutz in Israel, far from the granite banks of Switzerland. But if you go to Zug today, the offices are still full. The pink granite bench is still there, cold and empty, looking out over the gray water. The names on the door change: Glencore, Trafigura, Vitol, Mercuria. But the game remains the same. As long as there is a border, there will be a gap. As long as there is a war, there will be a spread. And as long as you need the world to keep turning, they will be there in the shadows, counting the cost. They say money never sleeps. They are wrong. Money just waits for you to close your eyes.